Wednesday. Welcome to Wine Wednesday, or Hump Day. We made it. We got through Monday and we got through Tuesday. Cheers, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna try to get through this without laughing. I don't know what it is about Mondays, though. Mondays seem to be the hardest, and I guess it's because from a lot of us, we don't work weekends. So, when we come back on Monday, it's like into the office or wherever, it's like all hell broke loose. And you basically, it's like really, really busy. It's kind of that thing where it's really, really busy on Mondays, and as the week goes on, it kind of gets Fridays, which are supposed to be that kind of, okay, we're about to settle into the weekend and all of that kind of stuff. But and then you have some where it's just like all week is basically bad for me. Like you're busy like every single day of the week, but it still doesn't change the fact that when you get to Wednesday, you are okay, 2 more days until the weekend. What shall we talk about today? What's weighing heavily on my mind? A lot of stuff, like I said before, but I gotta pick one. So, I don't know. Maybe what we'll talk about is just life and love and relationships. Everybody talks about relationships. Everybody that talks about or has a topic talks about relationships. Because they're so complex. Relationships are not only hard, but there's points in it when they're easy. There's points when love is at its tip top, and then there's points where love is at its very, very low. It's just so many ways you can dive into that, And then when I'm speaking about love, I mean like romantic love, like a love between two people that is not family love or friendship love. It's romantic, meaning you have a romantic interest in that person, and that person has a romantic interest in you. So that's what I mean when I was saying, I don't know, I've gotten to the point where it's like I don't understand why love and relationships has to be so hard. When I think about it in the past, I could see some things, when we're younger, that we're like, maybe I shouldn't have made a big deal about that back then. Like, you think about it now and you're like, what the heck was wrong with me? Why was I so upset about that? Or why was I even focusing on that? Why was I? When you think about it now, it's like, who cares? Just treat me good and I'll treat you good and we good, You know what I mean? I swear that's like the basic thing that, if you're in a relationship, you're trying to maintain where you are good to that person and that person remains being good to you. And if you are aspiring to be in a relationship, then that's what you're looking for. that essential, you be good to me and I'll be good to you. Don't do anything to make me cry. And I won't do anything to make you cry. Deal? Deal. So, you keep that kind of, attitude throughout the relationship. I think that it should be, and you talk and everything, that's the kind of relationships I think, well, me personally, that's what I would want, is that type of relationship. You want to be able to say anything, to that person, yes. And sometimes some of the conversations you have with people and that you're in a relationship with are not necessarily conversations that you would feel comfortable having with just anybody. But isn't that the beauty of a relationship, though? Isn't that, I think, where we get this thing where we're like, we want them to be our best friend because we want to be able to say something just off the wall crazy. And if you said that to somebody else, or you said that at work or with somebody that maybe you're not so close to, they would be looking at you like you was crazy, or that they was about to call the police on you, or never talk to you again. But you want to be able to say those things to people and feel comfortable if you are having a moment and you say something that is a little out of character, or you're feeling bad that day, dark and I like to call it, when I'm feeling dark and twisty, like just everybody's just we get like that sometimes. The point is, don't stay there, but you want someone who's going to be understanding to that and learn that about you, and they're not going to be wanting to run and hit the door when you start to feel that way. So I think that's what we all want, in a relationship. You can go back and forth. You can talk to men and hear what they have to say about what they're looking for. You can talk to women and hear what they want to say and what they're looking for. And the point is, it's just too vast. Everybody is, if you start digging in too deep, everybody is particularly looking for something particular, and you get lost, you can walk away with your head spinning trying to, I don't understand how matchmakers do it. Like, if you're a legit 100% all heart in matchmaker, I just, that would be like a job that is like, yeah, you gotta analyze people, just like the show that they have where they're pairing people together and they're getting married for the first time. As you can see, they're going off numbers and ratios and personalities that they feel people would work well together. And sometimes even on paper, it doesn't work. You look good, like you two would be a perfect match on paper, but then, it face to face and whatever, it doesn't work, because human beings are so complex. We're all so complex. We can be a little bit of everything. And maybe the day they showed up and filled out that form or did their interviews with the Married at First Sight people, they were that way. But maybe another day they were a little bit of another way. So we're so complex. It's too vast, and it's just, we're all so different. So instead of being like, oh, what's compatible, maybe we should be like, okay, teaching ourselves in relationships to be understanding, compromising, and again, be good to that person in the midst of compromising and being understanding. And, maybe that's what should be focused on, because you're not going to find somebody exactly like you, like that is going to love you the same way that you are loving them, so it's kind of putting the expectations on another person to either live up to or do the things that you think that they should be doing because you're doing. But maybe that person is not capable of that. But that doesn't mean they don't love you. You know, I do think that the compromise with that person should be that if they know they're in a relationship with you and you are that type of person, that their compromise should be that they be either whatever you need to make you feel good about it. You know, like being more vocal. If they're not a vocal person and they don't love like you do, being more vocal or being more showy with it. And they're doing that as their compromise to you because that's what you need in order to feel love or to know that that person loves you. And if they're the type of person that does not do that, then, you know, that could be their compromise to you. And maybe your compromise to them is knowing that they're not that type of person. And not getting so in your feelings and not getting upset as easily and not constantly telling yourself that they don't love me, they don't love me, they don't love me because they're not doing this. You know, so it's just accepting. It's about, I think it's important for acceptance and understanding and compromise because you don't find a person that's going to love you exactly the way, at least I haven't found somebody. You know, of course, there's always, what is it? You go and you say never, or you say this won't happen. And then what turns around? It happens. So I'm not going to say that 100%. You know, if you are one of the lucky people out there who has met someone who is loving you 100% the way, and you are just on cloud nine all the time, and they are giving it to you the way, exactly the way that you want it, then I want to talk to you. Because, you know, and I will be sitting with my wine and my hand on my thing like, you know, just listening, because it's going to be like, wow, that's great. I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to be cheering you on, cheering that, oh, he did this or she did this, and this is how they're loving me exactly the way that I want to be loved. I'm like, okay, you know, because we don't hear too many stories like that. We hear people that love is, and don't get me wrong, there are relationships that are, and marriages that are working when, again, the people are not exactly giving the love that the other person wants, but what are they doing? They're probably compromising for each other, understanding each other, and learning each other that, okay, this person is not going to love me the way that I want to be loved in my head, and then vice versa. So, you know, each person is making compromises for the other. Maybe he's never given a woman candy and flowers before the entire time he's been dating her. You know, now he's married to her, they're in a committed relationship, and he's never done that, but he knows that she likes those things. So his compromise is that maybe he's not going to bring them every day, but he will bring them. And that's a big step for him. That's a big step for his, you know, him compromising on why, you know, he maybe didn't do it before, or maybe he just never thought to do it before, but he knows you enough that those are the type of things. Yeah. Love is crazy. Well, this video is already too long. I've rambled on a month, but hey, that's what this is about. This is about rambling on about a topic or anything. You know, it's getting over the hump. It's leaving Monday and Tuesday behind. It's moving on, looking forward to Friday. So I'm going to get off here. Cheers, my people. Thank you, everyone who's been watching me. And please like, share, and subscribe to this video. And I will see you next Wine Wednesday.